Happy New Year. We are 10 days into 2026 as of this recording. And honestly, this video is really about acknowledging, the journey, progress that I've been making. And I'm showing basically all of my recent Drawbox drawings, which happened over a span of like 2 years now. I've been starting and stopping this for a little too long. And it's crazy because, it really spells everything out for you to learn the foundations of drawing, but it really is a challenge to keep up with. One thing I've always felt growing up is nothing ever came naturally to me. Like it always seemed like people just know what they like and they go for it. Or you can see certain talents or even like a drive within them that's, leads them to where they want to be. And I've always honestly felt kind of average at whatever I did. So I didn't feel compelled to push myself. Or maybe I didn't push myself hard enough. And this channel, as of right now, is to kind of show the essence of progress. When you look online, you see a huge variety of very talented, great artists. And since I know I'm nowhere near as skilled as I want or need to be, I want to show what that constant effort and persistence really yields. I believe I started my first lesson back in 2021, where I completed lesson 1 of Drawbox. Then I stopped for a while and eventually came back to it, restarted again from lesson 1, then completed the 250 box challenge. So now I'm currently on lesson 2, and my goal is to get some standard daily practice in. I'm probably going to switch to a longer format for these recordings just because they're a lot more time consuming. And I want to get a bit of a better angle of my arm movement. I'm aiming for maybe some weekly or bi-weekly video updates. I think one of the benefits of recording is how present it makes you. You're pretty aware of the video and now how you are showing up in that video. Not to say that these drawings have to be or are perfect, but I feel like it makes you actively think about what and how you're putting down the drawings or the lines on the paper. And I think drawing can be like a very passive or active activity depending on how you're approaching it. And there are benefits to both. Sometimes it's a lot easier to kind of just let your mind wander and just doodle on the page. But if you're trying to improve with intention, I think it's kind of good to have that level of focus. I guess the main takeaway here is that, as long as you have a chance to try again, you're never really failing, or you've never really failed. And that's an important thing. However much you think you could have fallen off or haven't improved, it's important to know your potential is limitless. Some words of encouragement that I've always heard from my mother was always telling me you could be anything you want to be. And it's that simple belief I feel like people let go of for all the right reasons. Life can make you very jaded. It can set you off certain paths you thought you were going to be on. But I think it's important to try to return back to those simple beliefs just to get you through the day or whatever you're pushing for. But the goal this year is to complete Drawbox. That being said, I do have some more interesting things planned for the channel. I like to imagine this eventually becoming like a love letter to a lot of my inspirations growing up. One of my main inspirations being Adult Swim, specifically the Toonami Adult Swim bumps. I like to imagine myself transitioning from traditional to digital, maybe doing some 3D, eventually animation. then, maybe add some music into the mix. It's pretty simple, but the vision is there. So, shout out to 2026. New year, new ambitions.